All right, pre-show shenanigans. Like the great Max Kellerman, I shouldn't say great, but like Max Kellerman once said,
Save
Martian's got the
yourself
death
there. My
beam.
God.
Martian's got the death beam pointed at Earth. Who do I want? Give me Iguodala. All
Yes.
right.
Yes, we all know.
We all know. So Grant, Martian's got the death beam pointed at Earth. There's a couple different
Who do I
versions of
want
this.
to hit this 18-leg parlay? I'm going with Ippei.
Well, Ippei. No, we don't want Ippei. We do not want Ippei. But there's a couple different versions of this we could do. We could, could do who do you want, like what quarterback, wide receiver do you want to score a touchdown? What 3-point specialist do you want? Something like that. Grant, who do you want shooting your free throws?
Steve Nash. Steve Nash.
Kobe Bryant.
Well, okay, give me a scenario. Are we in the playoffs? Is it a random Monday, January 17th regular season? Give me a scenario.
No.
Give me something.
Imagine the most pressure somebody's ever been on. The Martians have the death beam pointed on Earth.
I totally.
You're dead.
I'll be honest. Whenever you say Martian death beam, I mean Max Kellerman.
You think Iguodala?
Throw it out the window.
My bad.
Okay. I'll give you a joke answer first. Okay, joke answer first.
Jack.
Mantis.
Oh,
Do you know who Mantis is?
Yes, I'm aware of who Mantis is.
Now, Mantis has been doing a free throw challenge stream since
I saw
Saturday.
it, 100.
He has to make
100 in a row, right?
straight, and on the 100th free throw, he has to blindfold himself. He's made it to the 100th free throw 4 times now, and they are counting every shot he's made. He is shooting over 90%. He's made over 3,800 free throws on like 4,000-ish attempts. Okay. It is ridiculous how nice Mantis is at free throws, but being completely serious, well, prime of their careers or present day right now how they are. Because if it's right now how they are, I'm taking Steph. If it's all time,
I don't think I can take Kobe if that's right now.
No, I don't think you can. If it was all time, whatever point in their career, I'm gonna take Steve Nash. I'm pretty sure he has the highest free throw percentage ever.
Now for 3 points, who would you take?
Steph. 0.
Give me Jack Gohlke.
I knew it. It was coming up here somewhere.
It was coming.
Okay,
it was coming.
Steph Curry's first all-time career free throws. Steve Nash's second. So I guess we'll just go with Steph then.
Yeah, I guess. But it was less of an educated question.
Yeah,
it was
I had
just
a feeling
like
you were trying to set me up for that. Yeah, we'll get into the Jack Gohlke.
Well, okay, let's say this. Let's have a little bit more fun. You need a running back to run 100 yards, break off 100-yard run to win, to not have the Martians obliterate Earth. Who are you taking?
Okay. Now this is an NFL game.
There's a lot of different options here.
This is an NFL game.
This is an NFL game. Any era.
So
let's say you're going
Reggie
against
Bush, but if we're talking
defense.
NFL Reggie Bush, I'm not sure if I'd go with NFL.
This has to be an NFL because this is an NFL caliber.
I think I might just be taking Falcons Mike Vick. Go. I think I might be for 100 yards, a full length of the field. I might just be going Vick.
Give me Beastquake. I want the Beastquake.
No, that's definitely the correct answer. I mean,
Nick Chubb had a 100-yard run the other year too, though.
Yeah, I mean, quick side story. Now that you bring it up, I don't know why, but I remember exactly where I was when the Beastquake happened. I was watching that game live with my uncle from Seattle, who's a massive Seahawks fan, and I will never forget during that Beastquake touchdown. And I want to say it was the first big stiff arm where Marshawn Lynch is getting slowed down. You're assuming that somebody is going to catch up to him. Yeah. He takes like 3 side steps or backward steps after stiff arming a guy. After that, that's when I saw it in my uncle's eyes. Like,
it's like,
we are going to make some reparations for Matt Hasselbeck saying we're going to win the toss, go down, score, and win. Like we're getting some repayment for that memory right there. And I'll never forget, shout out my dog, rest in peace, that little firecracker of a dog. My dog starts going ballistic when my uncle jumps up. My dog starts.
Let's clarify. You mean a pet, not like your dog. Like
no, yes,
gotta clarify there.
Canine animal. Okay, little Kaz was about 14 pounds, and like maybe this. Okay, like the definition
little
of
ankle
a
biter. Little ankle biter.
Like
big, not little, big ankle biter.
And
big
I mean,
ankle biter.
I mean, his favorite target was the thighs. That was the most meat. That's where he could get those canines
those little yips
in there.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry to the unnamed intern for all the crime.
He got me once or twice, though, to be fair. He got me a couple times. But he really hated the unnamed intern.
Well, the unnamed intern, he loves to talk it up. Like, I think one time unnamed intern claimed he might stitches.
He makes it his mom stories.
Yeah. I will say though, yeah, no, I mean, my dog got some nips in, and for that Beastquake touchdown, yeah. Oh yeah. I've never seen my uncle that hyped watching Seattle Seahawks football, and I've never seen my dog immediately go from 0. Well, actually, anytime a doorbell rang, he did go 0 to 100. Or if he saw you, 0 to 100.
Yeah, then the intern
120. Yeah, 150.
But I mean, look, with the Beastquake, I don't think there's a single better like video montage combination than the Planet Earth with
on a single play.
On a single play, then
if we're
then
talking
the Planet Earth. No, but I'm saying the Planet Earth
tape, though.
I'm saying the Planet Earth video of the lizard running with Marshawn Lynch
on the water, correct?
Yeah, on the water, running away from the predator stuff. It's just going like this.
Oh, that's actually one of the greatest.
That's like the greatest article of sports media, and I'm including it, ever produced.
I immediately thought of just amazing moments. Maybe I'm short-term biased, but like Minneapolis Miracles, I would arguably say a little bit more lit than the Beastquake, because that was to go to the NFC Championship game.
True, and I obviously am biased.
I'm giving you points.
I will say,
yeah.
But I even then, the Planet Earth video with Marshawn Lynch narrating over it, way better than that.
What are we talking? That one? Oh, what's better, the Marshawn Lynch commentary or the Snoop Dogg commentary?
No, Marshawn Lynch's commentary.
Have you seen the wild wild animal killings, and Snoop Dogg's like, damn, that gazelle's fast as fuck. Like, it is so funny.
Well, that's funny. That's so funny. Great. But the Marshawn Lynch one is him. It's like him self-narrating everything going through his head when it happened, and it's imposed over the lizard.
I know what you're
making
talking
the move,
about,
which is great. Yeah, it's phenomenal. It's so funny.
Yeah, that is a phenomenal experience. Like, shit, we're just talking. Like earlier today, while we're in March Madness season, I was just looking up March Madness buzzer beaters. It's been a while since we've gotten a buzzer beater in March. I feel like I'm sure.
And we've come close this year.
Has there been a buzzer beater since this March Madness buzzer beater since this podcast started?
Well, at least this year there hasn't been one to win. A&M had won a tie going into OT and stuff, but they lost, obviously. I think there was one last year. I feel like there was one last year. I know for a fact there was one our freshman year, right before we started the podcast. It was freshman year. So the year before we started, because we started it sophomore year, and I think UCLA hit a buzzer beater. Or no, Zaga hit the buzzer beater over UCLA our freshman year.
Ooh, that could have been.
That was the Suggs.
I think I cleared that. Oh, I definitely wiped that from my memory. That
was, I think, the game after our memorable moment with the individual we
just making sure I got Jalen. He played with Chet at Gonzaga that one year. Was Jalen Suggs and Chet never?
Jalen went one and done, and then Chet came in after the year after and was one and done.
That was it.
And then last year Chet was on OKC, but had a Liz Frank, so he didn't play.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I know this was not the intended topic, but have you seen the new Chet and Shea commercial
outside of the W Hotel?
I mean, we're gonna see a lot more of that, aren't we?
I think that
if the Thunder can make a little bit of a run. Oh my God, we're gonna see that thing till October. Nah, they'll retire it before then. I'd say NBA Finals.
It's the next Whopper commercial. It's gonna be a long run for that one.
I forgot the other commercial that has taken over my mind. Every time I hear it, I immediately start singing along. It'll pop up. We'll hit the first TV timeout and the very first Thursday March Madness Sweet 16 round. It'll be the first commercial they play. I'll have a full on review later, but you got any more pre-show content? Any more pre-show topics?
That was what I had.
Discuss. All right. I think that's enough, folks. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Waterboy Podcast. Today is episode 207. March Madness opening weekend has wrapped. Okay, the best weekend in all of sports has wrapped. I wish more than anything we can go back to Thursday morning and just relive the weekend, preferably knowing the results, so we could have nice brackets. But I just love March Madness so much. This Monday is so boring. It's just so sad not having all this excitement and action. And this leads me to beg the question, Everett, because this happened a couple of years ago in COVID, I believe, only time it ever happened. But I think I might prefer March Madness Friday, Saturday, round of 64, Sunday, Monday is round of 32.
Yes, I would much. I don't like the Thursdays. I was not prepared for it to start on Thursday this past week.
I was not,
or no, maybe to start on Wednesday. No, it was Thursday.
No, Thursday. I will say, if I'm looking at it from a high school perspective, okay, there's probably no greater day of your high school career than those opening March Madness.
No, I remember we would have it on every TV in the school, like study rooms.
Ooh,
everybody
cool
just had
teachers.
Well, no, not in the class. We'd have it on our laptops in class, but
yes,
but like in our study, but like I'm saying around like the school, we had all these study rooms and stuff, and everybody would just be sitting in there with their laptop. So anywhere you would go, you'd just see it connected to the TVs and they'd be playing.
Like I would get, 3 of my other boys, link up, and we're just going to create the little 4 laptop trifecta, and we're just going to be watching everything all at the same time, tracking it all down. There's nothing more exciting than these opening rounds of March Madness. The reason why the round of 64 is so great, and I'll be honest, this isn't a good thing. It slightly gets the public into game, slightly into some type of gamble, slightly. That opening round, everybody who submitted a bracket has a pick on every game, unless you're Roll Tide Willie, and the only games you selected were Alabama or Auburn to lose to Yale. We'll get into Roll Tide Willie's perfect bracket. Genius idea, by the way. Genius. Yeah. Your bracket can't be busted if you only pick like 3 games. Like, that's so smart. Like, why did I never even think about that? But my God, these opening rounds, you got to pick on every single game. If you have, for example, I had a healthy amount of double-digit seeds going on to the Sweet 16 and get bounced in the first round. In theory, that could dissuade some people from watching that round of 32 matchup if they don't have anything invested in that game. So I can understand slightly there, but I just can't. I can't not watch it. I have to watch every single game. I have to. We only get this once a year.
Like the games.
I have to watch every game.
The games, obviously I like watching the games, right? But the games that I care less about, I'll be checking the scores a little bit. I'll be paying attention, and then if it's close and we get down to that that last 4 minutes,
then you become a psycho freak.
It's on, and I'm cheering for whoever the underdog is. I do not care if they could be up it could be a 12 seed versus whoever, like A&M versus who were they playing the other day that they just lost to?
Houston,
A&M and Houston. A&M could have been up. I'd still be cheering for them over Houston, just for the sole fact that it's a 9 seed versus a 1. Like that's
You always have to be rooting for upsets here. Like at the end of the day, unless you laid the spread line, you can't possibly be rooting for the favorite. Okay, like straight up, you either hammered the spread or they're your favorite team. That's it. If one of those 2 check boxes don't fit, then you can't. You have to be rooting for the underdog. That's just how this works. But also, Everett, we have to discuss the new Michael Jordan baseball and some developing thoughts.
The new Michael Jordan what now?
The new Michael Jordan of baseball. I think it'd be pretty funny. It'd be pretty funny if the MLB's punishment was to make Shohei, well, they just suspended G League Ignite, but it'd be funny if they made him go play minor league basketball for a year to blow it over and then reinstate him. But don't think that's going to end up happening. let me just start off real quick with the fun part. Now this year, Ohtani is projected to be the 2-hitter, Mookie leading off. So in that very first AB on the on deck circle, okay, Mookie will be getting ready to bat. Ohtani be a little bit off to the left, and if you just read their jerseys, it perfectly spells out Ohtani bets. We're just going to see so many of these jokes. Just get ready for it. I know for us Dodger fans probably won't quite hit the same, but especially if you're a Met fan right now, eat that shit up, boys. You're going to love that Ohtani bets for the whole year. Eat that shit up.
I know that everybody else who, especially, I don't know why everybody now is suddenly like, just because the fact he's on the Dodgers, are now suddenly like, yeah, screw Shohei Ohtani. I want to watch him fall and burn.
If Ohtani wasn't on our team, I would be clowning the absolute shit out of him.
You'd be clowning, but you also wouldn't be like actively hoping that he is guilty, which is what half
unless
of these
he
people
played for like the Padres or the Braves.
Yeah, that's different. But like, I'm more so saying like half of these people are actively hoping that he's actually guilty of it, and it's wild. And it's wild to me because those same people are like, we want Shohei to go to a team where like he's actually going to be able to win. Like we want him to be the greatest baseball player of all time. He starts with the Dodgers and they immediately start bitching about it, and now they're cheering for him to actually be found guilty of this, which by the way is not going to happen. If it's not already aware to you, Shohei Ohtani is like one of the most discreet, like private, like just unaware people. He like does not do much outside of playing baseball. So it does not surprise me that he would have zero awareness of what the hell's going on.
Any type of behind the scenes look that's ever been posted or written about Shohei, like you can never find a negative thing in there. The way he's been like portrayed to everybody is that he's this perfect, I just want to play baseball, does nothing wrong type of figure. And because of all of that, it just makes me think, it's the perfect guy to do it. Now, Ohtani just had a press conference about 2 hours ago, denied
but here's my other thing. Here's my other thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say, perfect guy to do it. Didn't do it, but let's think about it that way. You and I were talking about this earlier. Shohei Ohtani's been in the league for 6-7 years now. He's been in the United States for that long. Has had every opportunity to learn English, but has not. So can you imagine that Shohei Ohtani is actually gambling and he's looking at the book? He's like, staring at all this English shit. I'm like, zero fucking. He's like, just starts. Maybe that would explain why it would be negative $4.5 million, because he doesn't.
He's just know like what Michigan State +3. Yeah, they'll cover against North Carolina.
No, North Carolina. He's what is Michigan? What is this? What is Michigan State? Like, you can't read it, right? It's funny, but it also makes zero sense. Like, I mean, that's also why.
From fun perspectives, okay. It adds up why Shohei would be down 4.5 if he was just betting on like college football. It makes sense. He doesn't watch. He doesn't know college football.
Yeah, zero idea what's going on.
It makes sense he'd be getting destroyed by his alleged bookmaker, capital J journalism. And I mean, also,
who, by the way, is most likely definitely in college somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. That guy, 1,000,000% is Pike U of A, and that frat is going through the roof right now in their fundraising.
They've got an amazing party budget over there. It's wild.
Yeah. Springfest U of A Pike, bro. It's gonna be a movie. But if we're just talking like some other perspectives here, and all hypothetical, playing along effort. If I knew that I was a big time gambler, I had a tendency to maybe go through as much as $4.5 million pretty easily. I think I might also defer my contract 10 years down the line, so I can't blow through that $700 million.
Yeah, definitely nothing with the Dodgers asking him to do that in order for them to be able to go and pay more players or anything. Nothing to do with that.
I'm just interested.
I also just think think about it this way though. One, Ippei's a fucking con man. Bro did not go to college. He said he went to UC Riverside. Didn't go to UC Riverside.
When that came out, that's when I'm now fully back. I'm trying to be as least Dodger biased because I mean, when this came, I was like, dude, there's no way. When the first news broke, I was like, okay, so there's 0% chance of Ohtani's being frauded. That was my initial reaction. Then as time went on, I was thinking, wait, this adds up a little bit. But now seeing,
But
I have a feeling because Ippei has lied about UC Riverside, that's true.
And additionally lied about working for the Red Sox.
Well, I will say there's one thing they're claiming he like didn't work for a team. He did. Like there are pictures of him working like with a former, like he did do that. Like that.
But I'm saying they probably lied in the capacity that he was working for.
Sure. I will say, yeah, he could have been overplaying his role with the team 100%. I will say though, when that UC Riverside made me interested, I was like, ooh, we might be able to frame this guy as you can't take anything value for what he says. He's just always lying. I did see though them try to follow up like he never even worked with the team before Ohtani. He did. I felt like that may have been some part of Shohei's team trying to be like, let's just show he has zero credibility. But
here's the other thing though. Just think about it. Like, come on, man. There's been like there are things that he has lied about. Take UC Riverside specifically, right?
No, that's big.
Shohei Ohtani
destroys a lot of his credibility.
Shohei Ohtani being so isolated from everything and just not learning English, not really doing much. Like that is the perfect person to try and take advantage of. If you're Ippei, and if you're somebody
he's
with
about to become a multi-millionaire, almost billionaire player. Yeah, no, he's the perfect candidate you'd want to bet through or use his monies to fund your gambling addiction, crippling gambling addiction, might I add. It did end his career, but this is just little interesting. It makes me think a little bit what could be happening here. They say at least $4.5 million was transferred from Ohtani's bank account to then Ippei's and then to the associates of the bookmaker. That's what it was saying. This is what it seems like, though. I know Ippei's been lying a lot. I think the current Ippei story is that he is taking full responsibility. I think that may have been his initial statement.
What it sounded like was he did an ESPN interview, and in that interview, he basically said, "Oh yeah, Shohei knowingly was like, I'll cover, like I'll deal with, like I'll cover this for you," and gave the money from himself knowingly, which is illegal, by the way. So, and then Shohei was like, "I did not do that. Like I haven't had zero connections to any of this."
Yeah,
and
I think
the whole thing is because Shohei's name is in the wire transfer and stuff because it's through his account, which is part of the problem here. But I don't think the Ippei's come out and be like, "Yeah, no, I lied about that one too. My bad, guys. I actually stole the money myself," which would land him more time in prison. Right now, Ippei just seems like he's covering his ass. He's just trying to mitigate how much time in California penitentiary he's going to have. So,
yeah,
Can you hold on? Wait a second. Just wait 1 second. You remember back to when the guy was in the jail? He was like calling in his bets, and he like landed the first one.
Of the hottest.
Yeah, we're about to see that shit with Ippei. Prepare yourselves. In 2 months from now,
they better leak those. They better leak.
2 months from now, you're gonna see Ippei on the phone and be like, "All right, Michigan State."
He's calling up the same bookmaker. Same bookmaker.
Learned nothing. I was learned absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I mean, okay, just to have a little.
He calls
up
Shohei. He's like, "Can you front me like another $1.5 million?"
Just to have a little bit of fun, here. Okay, Ippei just throws a $200K parlay. It loses, and you're his 20-year-old college bookie. And the next day you text him, "Yo, bro, bad week. Here's $5K free play."
Here's my thing. Can you imagine being that kid to begin with, and the first, like, you don't know much about this guy. You don't know much about this guy, Ippei, right? The first thing that you see is 10 million or what was it, $500,000 bet, and you're just sitting there, you're like, "Oh fuck, I don't know how I'm going to pay this out."
The biggest day of my life, and then it easily misses. Like within half of the first quarter, the game was done. It was already.
Can you imagine seeing that though? And it's like a 3-leg parlay plus 300, and you're sitting there like, "Holy fuck! If I have to pay this kid out like 15 mil, I don't know what I'm gonna do."
Yeah, I mean, like I know, like when Drake every UFC event, he'll post like a $5 million bet set with Stake. Stake is obviously funding that. They want him to promote it. But like, I just wonder if like for this quote unquote offshore book to be investigated, like there must have been a lot more than 4.5 million like flowing into this illegal account for them to just like get investigated. Like, because that's how it all started. Like the offshore bookmaker was just being investigated for their activities in California. Then they saw Ippei and Shohei's name underworth, and it was like, wait a second, there might be someone else involved in this too. But like at first I was thinking, hey, they didn't bet on baseball. Who even cares about this at all? Oh yeah, no, it's state of California. Yeah, no, yeah. So, somebody's going to jail here. So, somebody
will be in prison.
Yeah, that we can deduce based on the information given. But yeah, our king has denied ever placing a bet on any sporting event, baseball or anything else. Claims Ippei stole the money from his account to fund Ippei's gambling operation, and he claims that he became aware of it last Wednesday during that team house meeting.
Which he also said that was fully in English, by the way, so he didn't understand like a word, but he kind of got a gist of the fact that it was not good. And then he had a private meeting with Ippei after the fact, and Ippei was like, "Yeah, I've been stealing money from you, and it counts of 4.5 mil."
Yeah, like so, I remember seeing like afterwards that like Ippei was translating for that specific game 1. He was still in the dugout, and like there are some videos of him and Shohei seeming to like be getting along, and it's like, yeah, Shohei's making his MLB debut. I kind of feel like that time might not be when he wants to stress about that. Maybe just for that.
I also don't think that he was just not aware of
it at that point in time. Yeah, like so some people were kind of pointing at that.
Like, keep in mind, after that meeting, have you seen Shohei and Ippei near each other? No.
No. Yeah. So like, yeah, moving forward, I believe we just hired formerly Kenta Maeda's translator when he was a Dodger. We've now hired his translator.
Was that the guy that was at the meeting today?
I don't think it could have been. It could have been. I don't think so though. He could have been. I'm not sure, but yeah, we got a new translator. I will just say that once it came out, like, and I had never even considered this, like, yeah, the interpreter wasn't interpreting what Shohei was saying exactly for who knows how long. Shit, hey, who knows? Free agency might have opened up, and Shohei's just like, yep, I am going to the Dodgers. It's already in place, already done deal. And Ippei's just like, we're considering all options. Dodgers on the table, not the final guess. You know, we're looking at everything, but yeah, you know, like, shit, who knows? Maybe there are hundreds of quotes that if shit, I know there's it. Hey, we already found a new guy. I know there's at least 10 people on the planet who speak English and Japanese who could cross verify.
Yeah, just make sure that he's not fucking it up.
Just make sure it doesn't have to be verbatim word for word, but if
you could be Shohei Ohtani and you're like, imagine this is playing out and Shohei's like, I have had absolutely nothing to do with this. I do not know what's been going on. Ippei's just like, yeah, so I understand the severity of the issues. I fucked up. It's like, what?
Like, that's apparently what's been going on. And
can you imagine if Ippei was still working and Ippei just like mistranslated everything to make it seem like Shohei's actually been doing the illegal shit and not him? Just like,
dude, was my initial thought. Like, because I think Ippei's original quote was, you know, Shohei's known about this for a little bit. Like, he's, you know, I stole the money. There may be a little bit of money he gave me willingly, but like at the end of the day, this is all me. Like, I think that may have been the initial story. And now Ippei is just being like, yeah, correction after speaking with the attorneys. Shohei had no idea what the fuck was going on.
To do with
yeah, no, I feel like, hey, we might learn a little thing or two here about the legal system. I will say though, maybe I'm the crazy one here. I'm being very biased, but I still think even if it got leaked, Shohei did this. Look what the NBA did with Michael Jordan, folks. Shohei Ohtani at minimum will be a Dodger 2025.
Yeah, if there is a
can't confirm that.
If there is a fax next year saying I am back, the Dodgers are winning the chip.
Oh, just an I'm back, not I'm back.
Oh, it was I'm back. I thought it was I am back. No, I'm back. Yeah,
I'm back. Period. End quote.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the most savage letter that's ever been penned in the history of mankind. So yeah, that's baller. But yeah, that's I guess yeah, we do have the new Michael Jordan of baseball. Um,
That like solidifies GOAT status.
I will just yeah, I mean, MJ taking a year suspension for his gambling addiction after a three-peat, then coming back and three-peating again. I'm not sure
Can
if
we
we'll ever
just
have a greater
have
American hero story.
I know
In the
you didn't
history of this
watch
country.
Suits. I know you didn't watch Suits.
Yeah, very.
But obviously, you know the plot of Suits is the main
firm.
character Mike. He doesn't actually have a law degree. He's posing as a guy. So
also quick,
can we
help me out? Is there like is he joining a firm? This may be Succession. Is he joining a firm where like two brothers are running it or something, or is that Succession?
No,
no brother relationship.
Okay. It has nothing to do with where I'm. Can we get a TV drama series of a degenerate gambler lying about his degree, becoming a translator for
so you're telling me instead of the new Receiver
money.
Documentary, we just have Shithead featuring Kayshon Boutte, Calvin Ridley, Shohei Ohtani, and Ippei.
But no, I want a drama series that's like all of just you feel all of that stress.
reality TV.
No. I want a drama TV series of all that stress of is he going to get caught or not? Like he's lying. He doesn't have a degree. He is lying about all these different things. He's a con man, right? But now he's working this job and he's been stealing money. When is he going to get caught? When is he going to jail? I want a TV series based on Ippei's life.
Yeah, like specifically of a con man, seeing him get all the way. I mean, I would definitely watch a documentary on Ippei and him getting to this point.
60 minutes.
Yeah, it would probably be a 60 minutes. I would say 30 for 30, but I don't think it's quite big enough.
60 minutes.
I'm not sure. If Pete Rose has a betting 30 for 30, then maybe. If not, then definitely not. We'll have to double check and cross reference that. But yeah, this is just like the most MLB story ever. Like I know gambling.
No, the most MLB story recently. Ever would be Shohei Ohtani is doing steroids. That would be the most. That would be the most MLB story ever.
But then after it gets announced that he's doing steroids in the MLB, unanimously decides to allow
Barry Bonds is in the Hall of Fame.
No, he's still banned because at the time it wasn't allowed. But
now,
moving forward,
now it is. Now it is. Now it's fine.
That's how. I mean, I don't know. Like Reggie Bush, NCAA, are they going to give him his Heisman back?
That's all horse shit, by the way.
I don't know.
That's so
like I genuinely don't know if they will.
They won't. Yeah. But it's legitimate horse shit that he doesn't have it. Because their whole argument is, oh, by era he shouldn't have.
Yeah, well, he broke the rules at the time, and it was just like.
But that also didn't change his level of play on the field.
Like, that's what I'm saying.
That's so dumb.
No, that's the whole point.
That's so dumb.
The house that USC purchased for his parents is not the reason he rushed for that many yards, averaging like 9 yards per carry. That's not the reason he did that. But hey, we're out here talking about it. But unless you had some more.
I mean, the only other thing is just I'm expecting. I think unless there's literal legal ramifications for Shohei Ohtani and he's going to prison, which I doubt is going to happen.
Like if Shohei was
the MLB is going to do nothing.
Yeah, he's now implicated. You know,
but yeah, the MLB is not going to do anything, especially considering the fact that they privately informed both the Cubs and the Dodgers that they will open next year in Japan, and there's zero chance they want to suspend Shohei Ohtani and not have him play next year.
Well, this just
started that series.
Well, what I'm saying is like if they did suspend Ohtani, it would just be for this season. They wouldn't do It's not like they'd suspend him for next year.
But they would have to have like evidence first, which would take time.
That's true. So yeah, like shit. I guess it would come out like halfway through the season. So I get what you're saying from that angle. Yeah. I mean, if you're the MLB, you're doing everything in your power to protect him right now. You need him to play. Rob Manfred, he's only extended for 5 more years, and he needs to raise the value of the MLB. So Manfred is not letting Ohtani not play. He needs Ohtani for the next 5 years for him to do a good job. So they're gonna do everything in their power. The FBI determines. Hopefully the FBI or Dodgers.
Okay. We can do a little bit of NFL action right now.
Yeah, I got a little college football, NFL. I guess we kind of
like draft.
Some specific college football recruiting stuff. I have my main NFL stuff is draft stuff too. So I guess.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm assuming these are the USC guys.
Yeah. Just yeah. We'll just say it's not often on this podcast that I get to wear USC gear and be proud of it. So I'll take every opportunity I can. USC might have not been playing in the men's March Madness tournament, but the women's are putting on a this whole segment's meaningless now.
It's fine. It's yeah. You can't.
For
anybody that couldn't hear, that was a
all
fire.
Right. So the guys I'm about to list are all going to decommit and flip, but 2 5-star D linemen from Georgia, Justice Cherry and Isaiah Gibson have committed to USC. I didn't do the exact math, but I mean, other than Bear Alexander, I'm not sure if there's ever been players from not even state Georgia, just from the South to go to USC, at least in recent memory. And then also,
that's definitely not in like recent memory.
Hell no. The other one that got me really excited though, 4-star top 100 DB class 2025, Hilton Stubbs from Florida has committed to USC. Like they don't get these Southern guys from Georgia or from South Florida. Like they don't get those guys, and they are now. It's very, very interesting. USC, they're getting some momentum rolling here, and I think Bear Alexander's play this upcoming year will be really important if they can maintain and keep this pipeline in the South. If Bear Alexander can go out, have a really great season next year, then it'll just reinforce to these Georgia D-line commits that yes, USC is the right decision. You're not taking a big risk leaving Georgia to pick a USC over a Georgia, a Bama, an LSU, a Florida, you name it. And if they can get some success this upcoming season with a Bear Alexander, then yeah, it could help a lot maintaining this pipeline and connection. Other little college football news, 5-star wide receiver, number 1 player, class of 2024, Jeremiah Smith. Everett, you like this fun fact, little cousin of Geno Smith. He is the first Ohio State player to lose his black stripe this season. This is the earliest an Ohio State football player has ever lost their black stripe.
Now explain a black stripe for people who are not Ohio State fans.
The black stripe for Ohio State, it's kind of a symbol of any newcomer on the team. So it could be freshmen, that's many of them, or an incoming transfer portal player like Devin Brown right now, like Will Howard, like Caleb Downs right now, like Quinshawn Judkins. You are not officially a member of the Ohio State football team until you have your black stripe removed. And to get your black stripe removed, you got to show your worth, prove your worth, more so prove your worth to your teammates more than anything that you're.
So here's my question.
A team player.
If Aaron Nolan or Nolan or Julian Sayin lose their black stripe before Will Howard's
that's
not starting.
A big sign.
Will Howard's not starting.
That's a big sign if that were to happen. I will say though, when it comes to just the black stripe in general, okay, it's not necessarily a direct correlation indicator of immediate starting. So if we can go back in recent, I will say
on the position, it makes an impact.
Yeah, depending on position, obviously many things change. But I will say, this is off the top of my head. I don't have a list. If I can go back and think of the first players to have their black stripes removed past couple seasons, last year, I'll be honest, I think it was Carnell Tate. Last year,
that's
Carnell
tough.
Tate. This year, Jeremiah Smith. 2 years ago, year before, I want to say, I just don't know. I'll just tell the people I know. Marv, his freshman year, he was first. J.K. Dobbins, at the time, he was the fastest player to ever lose his black stripe in Ohio State history when he lost his. These are all still guys, now that I'm speaking out loud and like really thinking about it.
You're realizing it? Yeah, I was going to say, it seems like a lot of receivers.
But I will say, like last year, Carnell Tate lost his stripe first. That one I'll look to specifically. Julian Fleming started over him the entire year. And we now know that the locker room was pretty divided on that decision, and everybody wanted Carnell Tate to start over Fleming, but Hartline still stuck with Fleming. This year, we could see J.J. Smith just take that X
spot from day one. That's where they're.
I mean, I feel like
projecting
that's expected. Either way. Jeremiah Smith is he's going to start. Like I would be amazed if he does not start.
At minimum, based on everything we're hearing and the, I guess, lack of established guys ahead of him, at least right now.
Besides Igbokwe, but yeah.
No, yeah, but I'm saying it's just Igbokwe, but Igbuka's slot. So both of those outside receiver positions wide open. So from that angle, I personally would be shocked if Jeremiah Smith wasn't starting by Oregon week 4, week 5. If he wasn't starting then, I'd be a little bit surprised to a degree.
I mean, if Aaron Nolan ends up winning out that quarterback position, Jeremiah Smith is the day one starter. Let's put it that way.
Potentially, I will also say to point out, Aaron Nolan, the year before, Carnell Tate and Brandon Innes, who are at Ohio State, also former 5 stars, they also played on South Columbus Express with Aaron. So Aaron Nolan also has other guys
he's familiar with.
He's familiar with, and that helps a lot. I've been hearing Aaron Nolan's been the best quarterback performer out of all 5 in this camp, and I've been hearing that Julian Sand's actually been the worst. And despite those reports, I'm now hearing that Sand is competing with Howard for QB1, which is a shock to me because that's literally reverses everything I've been told for the past 3 weeks. But hey,
I mean, you're not going to know any consensus information right now.
Hell no.
Until you watch spring game, there's not going to be anything that you kind of can see that might establish who is going to be QB1.
Yeah, I will say though, at the end of the day, the black stripe removal, it is a motivation type of thing. Caleb Downs is 1,000,000% starting for Ohio State.
So here's my next question.
Stripe yet?
Once you lose your stripe, do you start getting the decals on the side of your helmet? When did
those don't come till week 1? You can only earn decals in game.
Okay, it's unlike Michigan where you can get them whenever.
For everything, if you eat your cheeseburger and throw away your plate and clean up after yourself, you get 2 stickers. I mean, they did steal that from us. Whatever, they can have their fun. Georgia stole that shit too, but yeah, the Ohio State helmet sticker. I'll be honest, many of the helmet stickers, the whole team's just gonna get if the team has 100 rushing yards, everyone gets a sticker. You know, a lot of them are bullshit. I'll be honest. Sorry, had to expose Ohio State real quick, boys. But for example, you
gotta kind of make all the helmets look cool. So
you'll enjoy it. If you just quickly go through a CJ Stroud Ohio State highlight tape, you'll see major stickered upgrades in each game. By week 4, essentially the half of the helmet's filled up. It's all right, this is ahead of schedule. It's not supposed to be this filled yet. But hey, shit, now that you bring that up, I kind of forget. I think I might get some shit from this. I love Ohio State first game of the year, clean helmet. No, I love that first game of the year, clean stickers.
I wonder if they're gonna do that in NCAA. If it's just
that's the one thing I will give them serious credit. They update the helmets. Trust me, they had that feature in probably in NCAA
where it will be clean week 1 and it will just progress throughout the season.
Yes, and they literally base it off success. By week 8, Justin Fields and CJ Stroud, same team. Just Fields is filled up way more than CJ Stroud, but CJ Stroud still gets some free win stickers, scout team player. So I'll be honest, NCAA, no, definitely an Ohio State developer at EA did that.
You better hope they accounted for that. I don't know. Well, they could be cutting some corners.
In my opinion, because it's so popular now, the helmet stickers, they're definitely going to make sure they nail that. They're definitely going to make sure it's perfect there. But
okay,
time to move on a little bit to NFL.
Yeah. So I want to do a little bit of actually one thing I forgot to mention with college basketball. Gonna take a little detour real quick.
Yeah, I mean, I got some more college basketball, so we could just quit.
Okay, we can do that right now then. There are 2 teams left that are undefeated all time in the first round of March Madness. Do you know who those 2 teams are? 2 teams.
Say that one more time.
2 schools are left. Originally there were 3, but now there are 2 that are undefeated in the first round of March Madness all time. Do you know who those 2 teams are? Those 2 schools, undefeated first round.
I'll be honest, I did not hear this. I don't know. I'm going to guess. I think I'm probably going to be wrong here, but is one of them North Carolina?
So there's originally 3. There's originally 3. One of them was Auburn. They were 11-0. They lost in the first round. They are no longer
Wow.
partners. The next school is Northwestern. They are still undefeated in the first round in March Madness.
How many total games for them?
I don't know if this was before or after they played. I think it was after, so 3-0. 3-0 or 4-0. And the last team, your Tulane Green Wave, undefeated in the first round of March Madness.
There we go. There we
3-0.
fucking go. Tulane, you guys need to get some type of shout out. AAC
3-0.
We're not
gonna address how many times we've played in March Madness, but we're 3-0. All right, 3-0.
Yeah, no, I'll be honest. March Madness, this was a crazy weekend. Okay, of course we bring on the Prince of Big Blue Nation last week, and then Kentucky's the only notable top seed to get bounced in the first round.
That is on you. You were actively supporting them. You have nothing to blame. You
well,
have to apologize to Big Blue Nation.
I apologize. Well,
you need an official apology.
Well, this is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that Big Blue Nation might actually be a little bit appreciative of the curse I placed, because this might finally be the nail in the coffin to get Cal out. Let's just say, I mean, that Kentucky fan base, they're done with Cal. They're done with Cal.
Yeah,
he needs to go. Coach Cal, his time has ran dry.
The problem is he effectively needs to retire to leave.
Oh, hey, if you could only get one championship done at Kentucky, where else are you going to get it done? So, like if I was Ohio State, I would arguably rather stick with Diebler than Cal. First, for the money, and second, just because who cares? Like Cal has won one natty, and it was with Anthony Davis, Kentucky. Okay, that's how long it's been. So yeah, college basketball, it's kind of hilarious. But this is what I just want to say, real quick. We went over it slightly earlier, bringing him up, but Jack Gohlke had attempted 8 2-point shots all season, 327 3-point attempts. He's the definition of just a college basketball March Madness hero. And his last quote after the Kentucky upset, talking about, I know I'm not going to the NBA. I know their entire roster is littered with NBA players, but I know on any given night in college basketball, I can go out and perform with the best of those guys. And that's exactly what this tournament is about. It's seeing a 24-year-old dude who is going to be selling insurance in a couple of months and just seeing him put up 30 on a top 10 NBA lottery pick's head. That is what this tournament is about. That is America.
That is America.
No, it's actually the perfect American story of just on any given night. Doesn't matter if you're the most average looking Joe, you're already balding at 24. You can go out there and just light it up for one night. Like, that's just college basketball rolled up in a nutshell. Absolutely love that story. Shout out Jack Gohlke. We have a new March Madness legend forever. I also just want to say, shout out Roll Tide Willie. Perfect bracket. Bracket still exists. His only picks were Alabama to win the Natty and Yale to beat Auburn in the first round, which was also probably like the only good tweet to come out of like an official sports account in a really long time. It's that with that and the Timberwolves recently, when they were trolling, who were T-Wolves trolling again?
The NBA.
Or was it specifically like ESPN? Was it like a specific?
Well, no, it was the literal NBA account when they were like,
NBA account,
OKC. Yeah. They gave them a whole essay, like OKC took back the number 1 seed. Like, we better be getting this essay, and they lost it the next day when the Timberwolves retook it.
Yeah, so. No, but we love all those stories. Last thing I just want to say about college basketball, I think this is the greatest Sweet 16 we've ever had, at least in terms of star power. Okay. All 4 seeds and all 2 seeds are still in the tournament. Okay. I'm not lying when I say I cannot remember
seeds?
Every 2 seed.
What was Kentucky? I thought Kentucky was a 2 seed.
3 seed. Oh. So every 1 seed and every 2 seed has advanced. I'm not lying when I say this, Everett. I cannot remember the last time, forget the 2 seeds, that every 1 seed made it to this. I can't tell you the last time. And when it comes to 2 seeds, shit, we've had 2 seeds getting bounced first round the past 3 years. I can't tell you the last time I remember 2 seeds, everyone making it to the Sweet 16.
Yeah, I mean, we've also had like an uncharacteristic amount of first round upsets over like the last 3 years.
Obviously, there's been a bit bit of an outlier change of tradition recently. But forget the 1s and 2s. These are the remaining seeds, Everett. 2 3 seeds, 2 4 seeds, 2 5 seeds, 1 6 seed, and 1 11. Only one double-digit seed advanced.
I mean, look,
I feel like that
it kind of sucks because like one of the great parts of March Madness is seeing those like double-digit seeds, like those schools that like people are counting out win, right? So now it kind of sucks because there's not really that factor anymore outside of NC State. So by the way, that makes NC State America's team.
Yes, DJ Burns is America's center. That guy has a dream shape. Oh my God.
Only Oakland won that game. Only Oakland won that game.
But we need another week of Gohlke. We need him.
We needed another week of Gohlke.
Like he's the hero.
But what it does mean is that there's a great competitive week of basketball in front of us.
Yes,
there's going to be great games. And although it's going to suck because of the fact that there's not going to be much more of that upset feeling because, you know, it's the really high seeds. Like these are the Goliaths,
you know, it's
right?
not,
but
for example, Duke 4 seed taking on 1 seed Houston. I mean,
everybody's cheering for Houston. That's the problem.
Like Duke is the favorite, you know, like what are we talking about? It's fucking Duke that we're talking about. Like, so yes, from that angle, you know, we're not going to have other than DJ Burns and NC State, we don't really have our Cinderella double-digit seed we all get to root for. And
I mean, arguably right now outside of NC State, I mean, I would say Clemson is kind of like that because everybody thought they were losing.
Everyone had New Mexico round 1. Like everyone had everybody. I mean, last second I switched off of it because I just wanted a differential pick, literally. But like, I didn't think Clemson was gonna roll through Baylor like that. I mean. Crazy. I will say Clemson though, like I have noticed that these teams running like Clemson's running like a little bit of a zone over here, and they have the former Syracuse point guard Joe Girard III. If you remember him on Syracuse's run a couple years ago with the Boeheim brothers, like it's very interesting. But shit, dude, these zone teams are looking nice right now. I like when these teams, I guess maybe just used to standard man-to-man play, when they got to go up against zone, it throws them the fuck off. They do not know how to break a zone. But yeah, this March Madness run, although we might not have our classic buzzer beaters upsets that we expect.
I mean, we
just
might get there, though.
Power,
we might be getting there soon.
Like, and how close these teams are rated. Like, I think this is going to be maybe the best Sweet 16 ever, just with the team still in it. How many stars are still involved? The fact that all 1s and 2s are still in it. Like, this might be the highest average max bracket points available after opening weekend, like maybe ever since ESPN started tracking this. Like, so many people have their brackets, all Final Four teams still in it and everything. So this is going to be an amazing Sweet 16 Elite 8. We'll be back next week to know the exact things. But NFL wrap.
NFL time. We're gonna start with some draft Vikings related stuff. You might want to.
We're not starting with the head coach picture, the portrait of them all back in first grade again, sitting together.
End with that. That's where we end.
Well, and with that. Okay, I was thinking that we might end with a top 10 wide receiver draft list, but
I mean, I'm gonna be honest though, that picture was a little bit less interesting this year.
Oh, not as great as past.
Not as good. Not as
many missing coaches. Like, is this not a required event?
I thought all 32 were in the picture, but
I don't think Mike Fat Carthy was in that picture.
We might want to check. You might want to check that.
I don't remember seeing that double chin here. Let me see again.
That Denny's menu was not available. Okay, so obviously there's a lot of rumors right now and speculation over the Commanders, what they're going to do with the number 2 pick, right? A lot of people are hearing Jaden Daniels today was reported that JJ McCarthy was like the target. Arguably, if they stay in that position, nobody knows who the fuck they're going to draft. Nobody knows. It's a smokescreen right now. They are the team that's on the clock right now. Caleb Williams is already getting access to the Bears facility, and I'm not saying that jokingly.
We're not there. 5 head coaches were not there.
I'm not saying that jokingly. Caleb Williams is literally getting access to the Bears facility as we speak. So Commanders are on the clock. Commanders are on the clock. Here's the interesting part of all of this, all right? Sports Illustrated published, so like this is a confirmed thing from Sports Illustrated, that the Commanders are actively taking trade calls for the number 2 pick. The interesting thing to note here, the Vikings general manager, Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah, and the new Commanders GM,
I like it.
Adam Peters, worked together from 2017 to 2019, both as a part of the 49ers front office. So there's a pre-established relationship there, a friendly relationship, and an understanding of each other, of how their ideologies work and all that stuff, to get a trade done for that. Here's the other thing. Now, I'm not going to reveal why I feel like this is the case, but I think there's a strong possibility that the Patriots are not going to draft a quarterback in the first round. Okay. I think there's a strong possibility that they're not necessarily feeling like that's the route that they want to go. So that now makes it interesting. One, do they draft a wide receiver? Do they trade back? Where do they want to go with that? Right. I think that there's a very good possibility that a team trades up to number 3. I do not think that, I don't think that any team, specifically the Vikings, will do a trade before the draft unless it is for one of those top 4 picks.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's going to be a trade for the number 5 pick, because you're giving too much room for another team to trade up and beat you like the Giants.
You think there's a chance Commanders might be doing this just kind of to mess with you guys? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they don't want you guys to trade up. I
don't know if it's like that. I don't know if it's like that.
Yeah,
it is all mind games, but I don't think they're like, yeah, let's see how much this matters to the Vikings specifically. But
maybe they're trying to get you to trade for their pick. Maybe
with that said, I've seen a lot of mocks and people being like, this is what the Vikings need to give up to get the number 3 pick or whatever. And the latest one that I saw was the 2 first rounders this year, 2025 first rounder and 2026 first rounder. So that's 4 firsts, 2 this year, 1 next year, 1 in 2 years.
For number 2?
For number 3.
Okay. What are we talking about? What are we
like? That is a deal that I would want you to give me for Justin Jefferson. I am not,
dude.
That is not
Caleb.
worth doing for the 3rd overall.
Yeah,
that is unbelievably stupid.
No, hell no.
At that point, give me 11 and 23. I'll draft Bo Nix at 23 or Michael Penix, whatever. Give me Dallas Turner at 11 or a corner. Give me something there at 11, right? I could even go further, and I could go into the 2nd round quarterbacks. Give me Michael fucking Pratt. Give me Mike. Give me Big Mike in the 2nd round if we want to go that direction. Actually, we don't have a 2nd rounder this year, so that would be difficult. But give him to me at 23. Give me Big Mike at 23, right? Like,
I was seeing some Chargers guys being like, potential Vikings trade. We get 11, 23, and their 2nd. And I just answered by like, Vikings don't have a 2nd. This post has been deleted. So like,
you get the community notes down there.
Because I've looked at, the way it may be looking, Harbaugh could be doing his classic smoke screens, but hey, if quarterbacks do go first 4 picks and ours are there at 5, like,
look, you are cheering for a situation.
I'm JJ McCarthy's biggest fan. I am his biggest fan right now. There's nobody I want more for than JJ McCarthy.
I don't necessarily say that because of the fact that obviously and as expected,
and
Jim
Drake
Harbaugh
May,
has been
we need
hyping
to
him
keep
up.
Drake May's stock high, folks, because that shit is dwindling by the day.
I'm just saying, Jim Harbaugh's been hyping up JJ McCarthy as like the best quarterback in this draft, one of the best quarterbacks that's going to be in the NFL.
I think he said he's the best college football quarterback ever.
Trade Justin Herbert, draft JJ McCarthy, put your money where your mouth is.
Now there's one man out there who's convinced that's what's going to end up happening. In a world where that did happen, what would you give me for Justin Herbert?
Both first this year, first next year.
Oh yeah.
Like a 2nd in 2 years, maybe a 3rd.
I'm thinking of that first round package we brought up a little bit ago. Those 2 this year, one next year, and the 26.
I don't think we would give you 1 in 2026. I think we would do 2 this year, 1 next year, and then like a 2nd or a 3rd in a couple of years.
If we were to move off of Herbert, wow, that's.
I think that would be the situation that would make me the most happy out of everything.
Oh, that'd be your Christmas.
Give me Justin Herbert.
If you got Justin Herbert, I think he's
Trade him to me.
25.
Trade him to me.
And then we'd have Chargers fans being like, holy W, look how much cap space we just freed up. It's like, oh, God,
Your starting quarterback is Easton's. Actually, it's Max Duggan. So
I think it would be
Easton Stick
Easton,
did
but
resign,
yes, I get
but
what you're
yeah.
saying. Yeah.
But yeah. Hey, you need that TCU connection, all right?
I mean, just the fact that we drafted 2 TCU wide receivers last year, one of them as a kick return specialist, and the kick return specialist got much more playing time than the first round. I mean, that's all you got to say. That's all we got to say. When Darius Davis passed QJ on the depth chart, that's all I needed to know. But I get one other little thing I had on Chargers Harbaugh is Jim Harbaugh had a little press conference and he was asked about Keenan Allen. I know how Jim Harbaugh is pretty petty. Jim Harbaugh, he even
he was talking about third base already
again.
Yep.
Like, I mean, he's gonna hang his hat on that. I mean, that's his roast. Okay, that was creative as shit. Ryan Day's going third. I'll give it to him, but he's going to keep reminding everyone of that burn that he's had for a while. When he was asked about Keenan and Keenan getting traded, Jim Harbaugh goes, "What? Well, I mean, Keenan's making $23 million to play football in Chicago. Who's got it better than him?" I love this guy. This is my petty football coach. He's now my coach. He's making $23 million a year in Chicago, one of the greatest cities in America. Who's got better than Keenan? I love him. This is my guy. All right. This is my guy. He essentially just gave the bird to Keenan on his way out. I love him. This is my guy, Harbaugh. I'm rocking with Harbaugh because Harbaugh's rocking with us. That's my dog.
Now, okay.
Not sure if I'll support Blake Corum at pick 69, but I've accepted it. I processed it.
We got a little Bears talk here. First thing. If Caleb Williams throws for 196 completions, 2,193 passing yards, and 11 TDs next season,
the rookie records,
he will be Chicago Bears all-time leader in rookie passing records across the board.
I thought you were saying just first year Chicago starters. I thought you were opening up to not just a rookie.
This is a rookie passing records. If he does that, he will break all of them. Not a high bar.
And Chicago rookie passing numbers.
Yes, Chicago. The all-time rookie, I believe, is CJ's now is yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the other thing. This is the trade that the Bears did to trade up and get Justin Fields in the draft. Whatever, 4 years ago.
I haven't relooked that.
This is the outcome of that trade.
Yeah, tell me.
The Bears got Justin Fields.
Got it.
And the Giants got Evan Neal, Kadarius Toney, Aaron Robinson, and Daniel Bellinger. That was what they got. That is literally the worst trade for both sides.
Yeah, that's an
possible.
LL. Yeah, that's a
double L.
No one won that.
And two L's do not make a W. As much as people like to say, two L's do not make a W.
Yeah, that could have been a good way to respin this one. Yeah, no, that's a double L. It's rare we see a double L. Not often do we see a double L trade. That's one of them. Yeah, that's a double L right there. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, we'll have to dive back. If I think of trades like that, those are pretty high profile. I bet there's been a plethora of like 5th round, 6th round type of trades that both sides lost badly on. But when we're talking big name 1st round movement, not very often. Not very often do we see a double L, but
not like that, especially not like that. Yeah, and that you have that many opportunities to get a player and you fuck up every single one of them.
That was not ideal. Yeah, definitely don't want to be hanging your hat on that.
Only other thing, we have another cryptic post from wide receiver, emoji story post.
Yeah,
from
could
Brandon
you emoji translate? You're pretty good at it.
So $ talking emoji.
Wait, who was it first?
Brandon Ayuk. It's Brandon Ayuk. It is a $, a talking emoji, a bull or cow, the poop emoji, and a walking emoji. This roughly translates to money talks, bullshit walks.
I think he actually nailed that shit on the head. And the fact that he even I guess you were putting in the rhyme, but I think Ayuk even typing out.
No, he thought of
rhyming.
That. Yeah,
this is rhyming.
He thought of that.
So Yeah, no, I'm just saying I love how this is kind of how I don't know, is it the agent telling their players like just post this on the story, just unfollow them, like we'll get that extra
I
view.
don't really
But
know.
like
I think that's just it because it's a unanimous wide receiver thing. Like
yes,
yeah,
it is
that's
a
the
wide
problem.
receiver thing. Uh is this creeping over into the NBA per se? I don't
I couldn't
necessarily
tell you.
think.
That's not my jurisdiction.
That
I
is
don't really
not
know.
that is
That's
not your
not for
lane
me.
now that I think.
That's not for me to know.
That is true. But yeah, it's very interesting. This is now how you complain. This is how you. This is one of the few rare instances where the athlete has power over the owner.
Damian Harris has retired.
Yes, Damian Harris. How many rings is he?
Could not tell you. I don't know how long he was on the Patriots.
Did he
So
even win one with the Pats? Shit, maybe
I
not.
believe he did win one with the Pats.
I
Before we do the coach's picture and your list, only other thing to state is Justin Jefferson. There's official reports that Justin Jefferson is in the loop on the quarterback situation for the Vikings.
He just got involved in the loop.
No.
Okay,
I'm saying the report is confirming
because I
that
kind of
he's
thought
been
for
in the
a while
loop, that he's aware
he
of,
was
that he is aware. But there was no publishment of being like, yeah, Justin is our guy, right? So confirming that Justin Jefferson's been in the loop, has been doing all parts of the interviews, all that stuff. Okay, do you want to do your list? Do you want to do the pictures? Where do you want to go right now?
We could just quickly. I mean, we don't necessarily need to dive into one by one through this entire picture. I was just me. Weird year to be a Chargers fan. Like this was essentially like my holy shit. Jim Harbaugh is an NFL coach. Like this really sunk it in for me. It's now really been drained into me. Like Jim Harbaugh first is back in the NFL. So my Ohio State fandom is we are now in a new era of Ohio State, but also the Chargers. We actually have a head coach. So that was kind of like a little bit of a watershed moment for me. I almost shed a tear just seeing that this morning. But I will just say overall, just looking at these guys, there's a couple of faces that I'm not familiar with myself ever. I don't know if you can, maybe you can actually help me out here a little bit. I don't have that's not a great picture. More high depth picture so I can actually zoom in. Do you have it pulled up too?
I'll get it in a second.
All right. Yeah, this might be slightly easier for me to reference if I could.
Yeah, I've got it now.
Maybe I could actually like get this right. Top left.
Top left,
Is that
Raheem
the
Morris.
New Falcons? Raheem Morris?
Raheem Morris.
Okay. Antonio Pierce.
Yes.
Kyle Shanahan.
Yes.
KOC.
Yes.
Shane Steichen.
Yep.
D'Amico Ryans. What a beautiful ass man. Who is that? Todd Bowles.
Todd Bowles.
Campbell Soup. Zach Taylor, who literally looks like the dad of a third grader.
Yep.
Gerard Mayo with a t-shirt. I know that. I like this last three bald guys at the end. Sala, Dan Quinn, and Dable. I
didn't realize that Dable was also that short, by the way.
Bro, dude, he needed to have been sitting. That's a bad look for Dable. Is he like 5'6"? My God. Vintage McDaniel, bottom left, wearing a sweatsuit. Don't tell me.
Seattle Seahawks new head coach.
Yeah, I don't even know his fucking name.
Mike McDonald.
Mike McDonald. Okay. Michigan guy. Matt Campbell.
Matt Campbell?
Holy fuck. Holy shit. Why the fuck? Why am I freezing right now? LaFleur.
There you go.
LaFleur.
There you go.
The father of the future greatest NFL coach of all time.
Lisan Al-Gaib. Yep. The Lisan Al-Gaib. The Bills head coach.
Oh, Sean McDermott. Holy fuck. I was like, who the hell is that? Jonathan Jimothy Anderson. Is that Tom Brady's trainer? Who the fuck is that guy?
Dave Canales.
What team does he operate? I don't know.
He's the head coach for the Panthers, was the OC for the Bucs last year.
Okay, that's the guy. Oh, that's Bryce's coach. Cool.
That's not wait, who the hell is that?
That's the Titans' new head coach. I have zero
No
clue
idea.
what the fuck his name is.
No idea
I
who
do
that
not
is.
know. I have zero idea what his name is. Could not tell you. I do not remember what his name is.
Wait, shit. I know the face. Is that Steve Spagnuolo?
That is not Steve Spagnuolo. He's not a head coach.
I'll be honest, I can't really see his face.
It's
Dennis out. No, who the hell is that? I don't know.
Which guy are we talking about?
In between Stefanski, to the left of Kevin Stefanski, black shirt, black hat. Who's that? Who's that?
It looks kind of like Dennis Allen, but the blue and white's throwing me off.
Is that? I don't know who that is. I think that's Dennis Allen. I know
like
Ganthan Bus on the bottom right. I'll know that face for the rest of my life.
Yeah, the bus.
Shit. Yeah, I mean, just based off of stage presence, we can go over hot seat to Stefanski hot seat.
Stefanski's he's working on a
Stefanski looks hot seat. I mean, what is that arm posture? What he looks so uncomfortable.
I thought you meant like hot seat to get fired. Like I was like, oh no, he's getting a contract extension.
Oh no. I'm just saying, based on how they sit, do they look like they're comfortable? That's
no.
I'm determining the hot seat.
Stefanski doesn't look comfortable. Doug Peterson
Stefanski,
intermediate.
I'll be honest, Doug P. I would say we're more so on the alpha side. Just because
Dave Canales
seems to be man spreading pretty hard there, Dougie P. So I'll give it to him.
Dave Canales, very uncomfortable. Very, very uncomfortable.
Sean McVay with an elite man spread. My God, he runs these meetings.
You want to talk about elite? Look at Mikey D.
Yo, Mikey D. I mean, dude, look at that angle. I mean, that is shit, who's the guy next to him again? I forgot.
Mike McDonald.
Yeah, Mike McDonald. He's getting into his personal. Oh, dude, Mike McDonald.
Kyle Shanahan looks like Kyle Shanahan looks like he's itching to get on the golf course right now. Hands in pocket, like dad position. He looks like he's itching to get to that first tee box.
Yeah, I will say, yeah, I'm not sure exactly what they were doing with height there. KOC alpha. I mean, just commanding, towering presence over every other NFL head coach. My God. Let me just go. Oh, shit. I need to see him and LaFleur. What is the height advantage there? Is it like a 7-inch gap? Like
between who?
KOC and LaFleur. Like, does he alpha him every time?
I mean, KOC is like 6'5".
So tall. He's so big.
Ooh. I think he is the tallest coach, actually.
He's taller than Mike. I don't think Vrabel's 6'5". He's just fat ass. So yeah, I will say though, yeah, I mean, just purely based off of presence, I think it's pretty clear the alphas here. KOC gets it, and that might be more so of height. Obviously, Dan Campbell. Andy Reid, although he's not in an alpha position, he's so alpha that he's allowed to sit like that and still be the alpha. But if we're talking other people, D'Amico being in center like that, he looks like he's very
Gerard Mayo also gets it for just being in a t-shirt.
Yeah, I respect the shit out of it because you could tell that man is way more focused on that pick at number 3 than anything else. So I respect the fuck out of that.
Yeah, Sean McVay is in there. Jim Harbaugh is giving me some beta vibes, though. I'll keep it a buck.
Yeah,
that's bad. That's bad.
I think maybe Jim was. Hey, I don't know. It's been a while since
he's been
around his older brother. It's been a while. You know, maybe he's just trying to not step on any toes.
Yeah, the last time that he was in the NFL, Andy Reid was on the Eagles. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on here.
Yeah, it is crazy. I completely forget Harbaugh was the Niners guy for not that long. It was only like 4 years, right? Like 5 years.
Something like that, yes.
Not very long. But yeah, no, this was a true on, holy shit, Jimmy Harbs is back. Who knows? Maybe he was trying to be cool in front of his older brother. You know, who knows?
All right, let's get your little top 10 in here for the draft, and we'll wrap the episode off.
Yeah, we'll wrap up here. Yeah, top 10 wide receiver prospects. We can quickly go over it. Maybe a little reaction afterwards, but I would say it's very tough balancing the ceilings and floors of these players. I try to not lean too heavily one side or the other. I feel like a lot of times when I'm doing an NFL draft. I am looking at ceiling. I'm looking at like long-term value they can bring. I'm trying to, value a good amount into floor what you can produce from day one in the NFL. So wide receiver draft rankings, 10-1 or 1-10. What are we thinking?
Let's do 10-1. Let's do 10-1.
Yeah, it has been. I'm just making sure we are throwing
it has been a minute.
Our very own. We're throwing our very own in there at number 10.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So wide receiver draft rankings 2024, 10-1. Jaquan Jackson, Jamari Thrash, Javon Baker, Lad McConkey, Xavier Worthy, Brian Thomas, Troy Franklin, Romo Dunze, Malik Neighbors, and Marvin Harrison Jr. Making this list, I would actually say first four for me pretty easy. I like Neighbors more than Rome. I'm not even going to.
I don't think that's a stretch.
We're not even going to.
Not a stretch.
We're not going to even debate Marv not being at number one. This is definitely not the podcast you want to listen to if you want to hear why Marv isn't the best wide receiver prospect. So we're not even going to debate that. But Neighbors, Odunze, and Franklin, I really like a lot. And one player I kind of want to key in on real quickly is Troy Franklin. I feel like Troy Franklin is a guy where maybe not too many people talking about him too much. I feel like
I think that
compared to the other
fact
players,
that he's undersized is the problem. Obviously, he was like the playmaker on Oregon's offense, at least at the skill position, but
compared to some of these other guys, and I didn't even mention like Keon Coleman, I feel like other wide receivers definitely have just a little more popularity, notoriety compared to Troy Franklin. So I feel like maybe that could have taken away from people quite being aware of him. But just a quick little stat I found, which has me very, very interested moving forward. Troy Franklin. Okay. Shit. Sorry. I gotta find this real quick. I gotta find it. All right. Damn it. That wasn't it. Shit.
Yeah, the segment's kind of blown.
It's chalked. It's absolutely chalked. The whole thing's the whole thing's dead. The whole thing's dusted. Pretty much there are 3 wide receivers in this draft class who average over 2.5 yards per route run, over 0.45 first downs per target, and over 0.2 expected points added per snap. There's a list of other wide receivers in the NFL who had those same metrics, and the list is like every other one you've seen: Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, Garrett Wilson, and like they always throw in a random like Treylon Burks in there too.
Yeah, you need a
guy.
shitty guy in there.
It's this EPA per snap, which is very, very interesting, and the yards per route run. I feel like yards per route run is just a pretty direct correlation of when you're on the field, how dominant are you and how impactful are you and how consistently are you getting open and beating your man. The first down per target numbers, I feel like, yes, it's showing off wide receiver skills, but more so confidence in your quarterback to give you the ball and how confident are they in you throwing to get a first down.
I would agree with that. And I mean, obviously Bo Nix loved Troy Franklin, but I just think that the complicated part of all this is the fact that he balled out, but he is an undersized guy, and it's going to be a matter of how much people value those things. And now you can be a bit more undersized and have success in the NFL.
Yeah.
But when you do have to compete with an Xavier Worthy, you do have to compete with other players that like AD Mitchell, who has bigger size and speed.
Okay. This is it. Round 1 wide receivers. They're throwing Troy Franklin in there. But round 1 wide receiver since 2019 with a career 0.19 plus EPA per snap. The list of current NFL players: Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, Hollywood Brown, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Jackson Smith-Njigba. The 2024 wide receiver prospects who fit this mold: Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors, Troy Franklin, no Romo Dunze.
Interesting. Okay.
So just point that out. Point that out. If you're over 0.2 on that EPA per snap, that's a sign that you are very valuable to your offense and a key contributor. That's what that number shows me. And some things I will say, some concerning profiles. Here are a couple of players who are kind of worst in these EPA per snap categories. Both Texas guys tied for the worst wide receiver profiles in the class for EPA per snap. Xavier Worthy and AD Mitchell at 0.12 EPA per snap. Marv is at 0.25 EPA a snap, over double how good they are. Keon Coleman, 0.13 EPA per snap. Jalen McMillan, 0.13 EPA per snap. Brian Thomas Jr., 0.15, not quite as low, but not a great figure. Also, yards per route run. If you're sub 2 yards per route run, there is not a great track record of NFL success. Here are some of the top receivers who are under 2 yards per route run: Brian Thomas Jr., Keon Coleman, AD Mitchell, and Jalen McMillan is barely.
I think it also depends though what team they do go to. If they go to the Saints, they're going to be great. They're going to be fantastic. Running slants for the Saints. It's going to be great. But I agree with that. I think it's going to be interesting. Like the NFL, the scouts don't look at the metrics and go, all right, I'm not going to draft you because of.
I honestly don't know how many are even looking at this at all.
I honestly don't think that they really give a fuck. But the bigger thing is, like, for Troy Franklin being a first round, like, it's going to be a question of which one of those back end teams would draft him. And then also, all right, look at what he does great, right? He's a bit undersized, but he has great hands. He plays bigger than he is, and he's fast. But then you look at Xavier Worthy, who ran a 4.21, and you're going to say, hey, if we're comparing these players, look at their skill sets. I'm going to take the guy that's a bit faster, shouldn't I? Who's a bit taller, shouldn't I? So that's the other question, is where these teams are going to kind of stack them up.
100%. Yeah. I feel like for these just the 10 guys I just mentioned, hey, I love me some Ladd. But if we're just talking athletes, Ladd and Xavier Worthy and Brian Thomas aren't comparable athletes.
And then here's the other thing.
Playing football, that's where Ladd makes serious strides and closes.
The other question comes into play is like, okay, you fit into our offense, right? Like you got speed, you like these are the advantage, but do you bring something else to the table? Like our guy, like Quan, brings special teams to the table. And that's going to be something that a lot of teams love to see, is these special teams kick returner.
Terry McLaurin, when he was getting drafted to, I believe at the time they were the football team. Maybe they were the Redskins, but
no, they were the Redskins, I believe.
They were still the Redskins. Damn it.
Actually, no, they might have been a football team. He might have been a debut. He might have been on the debut Washington football team. Did we ever think about that? Did we ever think about? Okay, seriously though, like for Terry, a big thing apparently in his draft interviews and prep was stressing his blocking. He was like, "Please cut up my blocking tape. Watch what I do blocking. Like, I take a lot of pride in my blocking. Look at that." And there are other ways you can get on the field. Like Terry was also stressing playing special teams as a gunner. Like he was submitting like, here's my gunner highlight tape. Okay. Like there's different ways to make your value, prove your worth, especially if you are a day 2, day 3 pick where you're going to be playing a lot of special teams. You might not be a star. You're going to be doing a lot of special teams. There's a good amount of guys getting drafted who haven't done special teams since like their freshman year at wherever they were playing. So bit of a learning experience, learning curve. You can stress that can help you a lot. I will say if there's one slight little sleeper I want to give a lot of shout out to, it's Jacob Cowing out of Arizona. My one concern is that he played like over 70% of his snaps from the slot. Like who's by far the highest. So my guy is the guy from Virginia. I can't remember his name. But he is not getting enough love.
Virginia or
Malik Washington.
Malik
okay. Washington is my sleeper guy. I don't think people are giving him enough respect. He's looked great at his pro day, at all the drills that he's ran. He looked great in the combine. I think that he is going to be a sleeper pick. And keep in mind, Dontavian Wicks was from Virginia last year and did very well in the NFL. Same kind of build, same kind of setup, same kind of skill set. as Dontavian Wicks. So
I will say maybe I'm the weird one here, but maybe with the hip drop tackles, these lower center
which is
gravity,
by the
tougher
way,
to tackle guys might be a little bit
address
more.
that. We didn't address that, and we won't talk about it much. But that's just fucking stupid. It's a safety thing, but at the same time,
how do you
can't
tackle
expect
Derrick Henry, Everett?
You can't
Do you
expect
have to spear him? Do you have to perfectly square him up every time?
You know how I feel about spearing people in the kneecaps. So Kirby Joseph, fuck you. But
I don't know. How do you tackle him?
Like, here's the other thing.
You're
like,
DB. You're supposed to.
Here's the other thing. Like, there's that, but also, do you expect referees who cannot spot the ball properly to get that call right? Like, how are we gonna go about that? Like, how does that make sense? I don't. Somebody's gonna tackle somebody, and it's gonna change the whole game. Like,
I mean, realistically, if we're like, you can't. I mean, shit. Like, if you're chasing someone down, you're trying to hawk someone. You kind of need to hip drop to a degree to tackle them.
There's a difference. Like,
just free. Is it just a touchdown?
Here's the thing: if a hip drop tackle, you like get on their leg and you're like rolling over and shit, which kind of happened to Mark Andrews, which is why he had that whole, I don't remember what issue was, but like, that's why he got hurt, right? Because they dragged him down and then he went over his leg and his leg got twisted up weird. There's a difference between that and just tackling by the hips. The issue is they banned both. And now that's going to result in people.
They banned tackling by the hip. Wait, what?
Well, so a hip drop tackle essentially is you're on the hips and you're pulling them down.
Yes.
Right? There's a difference between that and when you're pulling them down and, you know, their legs and shit are getting caught on you and you still are going through and you get hurt.
Yeah,
like what happened to Mark Andrews.
Like, the way I'm just thinking of it in my head, it's like, shit. I'm thinking, pretend I'm a middle linebacker, the running back. I meet him in the second level, and I'm now what you described, like on his hip, like trying to tackle him. Like, when you're in that scenario, like, how else are you going to tackle him? Like a group tackle, an assisted tackle, for example. Like, yeah, if you have him wrapped up, naturally, to get him to the ground, bring your body to the ground. If you tackle yourself, he's going to be on the ground. You're trying to get him down. I'm just confused here. Like, do we know what the penalty is? Like, is it auto first? Is it 5, 10, 15 yards? Like, do we know? I'm guessing not, but
we're going to find out. I don't know if that's part's been stipulated. But with that,
we'll see.
Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Rate us 5 stars. You can find us on Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and on Instagram at WaterboyPod. You can follow me and Grant on Twitter at Ever6 and at WaterboyGrant. We post new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday on YouTube and all podcast platforms. Make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications so you do not miss a single episode. We post new TikToks every Tuesday to Sunday. Make sure to follow us there for exclusive content, as well as on Instagram at WaterboyPod for other exclusive content. And with that, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Waterboys out.